So we have the greatness of being here. Guys, I went field training with Matt Graves about a month or two ago here. I don't even know how long it's been. Some of the stuff that I took from this guy has just is continuing to revolutionize my business, my average order right now. I could not think of a better person to be speaking to our team to help us level up our game. Some quick stats on Matt here. So he started in 2008. He's at 8.65 million in career sales. Are you top 10 in the history of the company, Matt?
I'm not sure. It's a good question.
I think you're right up there, which is
Could be,
unbelievable.
could be.
So he's got 3 years in a row over a million, which is really impressive to me because it's like he has literally grown his business to $1 million where he's able to do that consistently. His best day behind a booth, get this, is $31,000. So yeah, what most people are like in business are excited to do in a month sometimes, he can do in a day at a booth. So it's awesome. His best week is 108 grand. He actually had 2 weeks in a row over 100 grand last December. His biggest month was last year in December. He sold 305 grand. So again, what a lot of people are selling for the year, he sold in a month. Just unbelievably impressive stuff. His best year was last year. He did 1.13 million. He is truly one of the Cutco greats. And what I love about Matt is he's continuing to revolutionize our business as to how people think. He continues to help people think bigger. He's helped me think bigger in a lot of ways. Personally, he loves working out, obviously. He's great at golfing. He loves fishing and traveling. I asked one of Matt's close colleagues that's been working with him for years, what makes Matt Graves so unbelievable at everything that he does? And he said it's his commitment to excellence, but also nothing breaks his stride. He gets his mindset to something and he executes it with excellence. So, without further ado, I'll let you take it away, Matt.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate the intro. What's up, guys? Happy to be speaking to you today. Um, a lot of you guys have heard me talk in the last few years at Net, especially about, selling more Cutco kitchens, package deals, increasing average order, all that. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about today is like a blend of all those messages. You're probably going to hear a lot of the things I've said before. All that means is it's very important, and you should probably ask yourself the question, um, have I heard this, or am I implementing this, or should I be implementing this? So I always tell people, like, if you heard something in a message, but you're still trying to grow in that area, well, maybe you need to reflect on things that you could be doing differently or things you can be implementing to help change your numbers and change your business. So I'll just dive in real fast. I'll go through all the good bullet points, and then hopefully we have some time for questions. So what's the goal, right? What's the goal about selling more packages and Cutco kitchens? Number one thing is it maximizes customer interactions and opportunities. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the last couple of years, there's definitely been a decline in like attendance at events, but also number of interactions. I'm dealing with it more than ever on military bases, right? People see Cutco everywhere now, so the number of interactions just don't seem to be as high with people, especially new customers, in my opinion. So being able to capitalize on bigger orders and bigger averages still makes the event profitable and a big win. So it also helps with smaller events or just slower events, right? When the order count is low, you're still able to produce a ton of CPO. I'll give you a, quick example of that. That just happened 2 weeks ago. I was on a military base in Japan. I had 13 orders total in 5 days. 13, but I still sold 32,000 CPO on the 13 orders. Why? Three of those were package deals to new customers. One of them was a Cutco kitchen completion package to a Cutco owner, and the rest were like ultimates, family sets, flatware, and cookware to other customers. So all packages or bigger orders, right? But again, 13 orders. Ask yourself, how many events have you done? Did you have 13 orders? And what did you sell? What's the area of improvement on those orders, right? To still make it a 10K, 20K, 30K plus event. Um, Increasing your average order size will double or triple your average with one focus alone, right? It's way easier to add more CPO to a customer that is already buying versus trying to find a new customer to close. So I always remind people that having the discipline to upserve and maximize customer interactions will always pay off because, in my opinion, once you have a credit card in hand, it's way easier and less effort to add CPO to an order than it is to find a new customer interaction to close the same type of order. So always remember to focus on the person in front of you. The other thing is that it challenges your mindset to think bigger with every customer when you have a focus to sell more package deals. So find ways to stop selling pieces, find more ways to start selling sets and packages. Best way to do that is to just start promoting sets and packages from the beginning of the pitch. Um, I always tell people that you will sell way more what you consistently pitch to customers. So if you find yourself pitching Cutco kitchens and package deals from the get-go more often, chances are you're going to get more opportunities to sell those type of orders with customers. If you're still that type of rep that's focusing on just knives, right? You're not going to be surprised if you're only selling cookware. I mean, if you're only selling knives to customers and not flatware or cookware. And so think about how often you're having conversations with customers about flatware and cookware in addition to knives. And if you find yourself, one out of every 10 conversations, one out of every five conversations, my challenge to you is how do you make every conversation you have with a customer, including flatware and cookware pitches, not just knives, and watch what that does to you in your business. Um, One thing I want to talk about though is some preparation and mastery that needs to be involved, right? I say this all the time to people, but package deals won't happen overnight. It takes extreme focus, a lot of intentions with each interaction. And although like my message isn't really specifically how to sell each program today that we have to offer, the sooner that you guys work on mastering your skill set with selling all the different programs that we have to offer now, the more consistent you're going to be in closing package deals altogether. So, what are some of the things I recommend? Number one is get better at selling ultimates and signature sets. If you find yourself selling a lot of homemakers, galleys, five-piece bundles, anything that's not like, a knife block, um, my challenge is like, hey, where can you improve on your new customer demo to sell bigger sets more consistently? Um, I'll tell you right now that like ultimate sets move the needle quickly. You can actually sell one ultimate set, and that's more CPO than three galleys, right? So would you rather have three new customers buy a galley or one customer buy an ultimate? And so for me, that's always been a strong focus of mine is mastering selling bigger sets with new customers. Flatware, right? I don't know how good you are at your flatware approach, but that's probably one of the easiest upserves, in my opinion, for a new customer or a past customer is just our flatware program. It's such a great deal. It's such a great value. It's something that people can tack on pretty easily. Cookware. This is probably the biggest area of improvement for most reps. I know for me, it wasn't until 2020 where I got serious about trying to learn how to sell cookware. And ever since then, that's where my Cutco kitchens and package deals have just taken off, is whenever I learned mastering selling cookware, because it's one of our biggest ticket items that we offer, right? Um, and it's also one of those things where when you meet past customers at events, a lot of people, if they already have a lot of knives, it kind of ruins reps' confidence about selling something because that's all they know how to talk about is selling more knives. But if you know that you've mastered your flatware and your cookware pitches, it's nice to have an arsenal and like have ammo in the tank about like what to show next that people can get excited about. The family program, another hot program this time of year as we get ready for the holidays, right? If you're not focused on getting people to add gifts and to buy for their family and friends, you're missing out on a lot of CPO and you're missing on package deal opportunities. And then the last thing which is probably the most important thing, is mastering the objection cycle, right? None of the programs matter, and how good you are at pitching them doesn't matter if you don't have the confidence to close customers and handle objections and find solutions. So, that to me is the most important level of mastery and preparation that you can do for yourself in order to put yourself in a position to close more package deals, right? Because you can't just be good at selling knives. You got to be good at selling all the programs to sell more packages consistently. Some quick focuses is number one, mindset. You have to have the mindset that we don't just sell knives anymore as a company. We sell Cutco kitchens. So we're a kitchen company, not a knife company. And one of the things that I've shared before is becoming a full spectrum rep, right? If you have this idea that we're only selling knives to new customers, you're missing a lot of opportunities to sell cookware, flatware, accessories, and gifts to new customers. Don't make new customers just looking at knives, the focus, right? How can you bring up the full spectrum of what we offer in the first 5 to 10 minutes of meeting a customer? Why wait till someone, already has the knives, and why wait to seeing someone like the second year of the fair to introduce them to the flatware, the cookware? So for me, it's like, hey, how can I open the door of opportunity with all my new customers from my first conversation I have with them? Number two is having a really good power intro. So I think from the last 2 years of speaking at Net, a lot of you guys are familiar with my power intro now. But the power intro for me is what sets the stage for my customers and also gives me a chance to see what my level of opportunity is and what I can potentially sell to the new customer. If it's just knives, great. But if there's an opportunity to do a package deal or Cutco kitchen, I'm going to take advantage of it, right? And the power intro kind of like lets me introduce that quickly and see what the customer might be interested in. So real quickly, I'll kind of go over the power intro. But again, most of you probably have it. But the first thing I say is, hey guys, there's two things to know about us. We're American made since 1949. Most importantly, everything we make has the forever guarantee. The idea is we do free sharpening, free replacements for life. So we're meant to be a one and done investment, kind of like Snap-on tools. Then I have them cut the leather with the steak knife. And then after they cut the leather, I just say, yeah, most impressive thing is Cutco stays this sharp for 7 to 10 years on average. But again, it's the peace of mind that when you need the service, we'll take care of it for you. Because of that, we're not cheap. We average anywhere between $100 and $200 per knife now. So people avoid buying a la carte just because of that. Now, here at these events, Cutco offers better deals on our bundles, sets, and our package deals. Knives are what we're known for, but we also make very high quality cookware, flatware, and accessories. The pans are the most expensive thing we make by far, but for a really good reason. Our pans are professional grade. They include 5 layers of metal, doesn't leak out toxins or chemicals, cooks super fast and evenly. Most importantly, though, it's helping people get rid of their non-stick and Teflon pans, which are super toxic. The flatware is 1810 stainless. It's the best quality for everyday use. It won't tarnish. It's dishwasher safe, and there's no need to polish. So what I always say is we meet people at this event that are buying a new house, doing a kitchen remodel, or in their position to hit the full reset button. And once people realize that everything we make is American made, has the forever guarantee, it's very common for people to take advantage of our package deals here at the show or invest in our number one package deal called the Cutco Kitchen. Out of curiosity, Mrs. Jones, for you guys, besides the knives, what else would be worth upgrading in your kitchen? Flatware, cookware, or all the above, right? So when I ask that question, it's allowing me to see what my opportunity is with the customer. Am I only going to be talking about knives? Am I going to be talking about cookware and flatware? All the above? What is it? And so the great thing is, a lot of times when I do a new customer pitch, from the beginning, right after I do my power intro, I know, am I pitching a package deal right now, a Cutco kitchen right now, or just focusing on the knives? And what's great is if someone is open to looking at cookware or flatware, I just say, hey, that's awesome. Let me start with the knives first, and then I'll tell you about the cookware after. Or hey, let me tell you about the knives first, and then I'll tell you about the flatware after. So I always shift the focus back to the knives, and then I just make sure I talk about the flatware, the cookware after. The other thing I want to talk about is utilizing third-party stories. And what I mean that by that is um, it really helps me sell more package deals in Cutco kitchens when I act as if everyone does it. And so, whether or not someone did actually buy that stuff at my event, I just use third party stories as credibility to give customers confidence. So, I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. But, like, even whenever I was at my military base a couple weeks ago, as soon as I sold that first package deal to a new customer, every interaction after that, I talked about that customer that, yesterday I had a customer that was only looking at knives. Once they heard about the cookware, they understood they needed some cookware and they actually did a bundle deal on base because we offer a much better deal. Like just for fun, do you want to see what that looks like? So I use third-party stories to get people interested in hearing about bundle deals, but also give them the confidence that they should probably do the same thing. So a couple things I wrote down here that are similar scenarios is yeah, so I had a customer earlier today who ended up doing this because of this as well. Or hey, last week one of my clients did the knives, but then ended up adding the cookware because of how much better the deal was. Or hey, I had a customer that had the same issue, and here's what we found was the solution was just to do this and this, right? Another thing that I use language wise is, hey, do you mind if I make a recommendation for you guys? My client the other day was in the same position and they ended up doing this because it made the most sense. And so I like to use that type of language with people, especially when they're buying those bigger orders, because again, sometimes people just need that like confidence from you that it's a good idea or that other people are doing it as well. And I think that makes a big difference sometimes. It's kind of like whenever you guys have a past customer come up in the middle of pitch and they give you a great testimonial about why Cutco's worth the investment. And then like that's all the customer needed to hear to them for them to trust you and buy that set themselves. So sometimes you don't have those testimonials around, right? So you got to kind of create your third party stories to get them on board. Um, the next focus for me is for sure the price positioning. Price positioning for me, I think, is one of the most like overlooked or underutilized skill sets when it comes to closing bigger sets and bigger packages. And so for me, I just remind myself that it's a standard I have to like make sure that the price positioning in each interaction is executed, perfectly. Um, some of the things I do to price position package deals, right? Is I say, hey, Mrs. Jones, before I show you the package deal for the knives and the flatware, I want to remind you about our number one deal called the Cutco Kitchen. So if I'm only looking at a knife set with a customer or I am doing a package deal, I still have the same method that I use for price positioning. And it is before I show the price of just the knives or before I show the price of the package deal they're looking at, I always show them the Cutco kitchen first as like the standard of what people work towards. That way I can show them like the, most expensive package if they wanted to take advantage of it. So what I say is, Mrs. Jones, I show this to all my clients just for fun, just to give them an idea of what they could spend on us if they wanted to. Once people see the deal and the option for no interest payments, a lot of my clients just go for it just to be one and done and have the peace of mind that they have the highest quality kitchen tools for the rest of their lives. And so sometimes I'll joke with them and I'll be like, yeah, if you guys wanted to actually get this today, I can take the rest of the day off. And a lot of people, they laugh about that, right? And then the other thing I say is now just remember that the cookware actually makes up about half the cost of this package. So for me, I like to say that because then it really puts the emphasis on like how much the cookware is, which helps me close cookware more often, but also it helps me upserve to Cutco kitchens more often once they realize that like cookware is half the cost of the kitchen. And then after I do that little price positioning, because they can see how much it costs, right? I'll say, here's what the package deal would be just to do the knives and blank, right? Whatever that is looking at. So whenever I sold my three package deals at the military base a couple weeks ago, um, it was knife set and flatware on two of them, and then a knife set on cookware on the other one. And then obviously the other order I had was a past customer that did flatware, full cookware, and accessories. And I call that the Cutco Kitchen Completion Package. But all four of those orders, I use this tactic where I show the full kitchen first as a price position, and then I show them the deal and what they're looking at. And it just gives this really nice, like, mental comparison of how much they can spend versus how much they're going to spend. So that's why I love showing that. And I love saying that, hey, but just so you know, the cookware takes up like half that price. And if cookware is something that they're not looking at, it's almost like a relief for them. So it actually makes selling like an ultimate with flatware that much easier. Is when I show the kitchen, tell them that the cookware makes up half of that, and they're all, thank God we're not getting the cookware, right? Like we're just getting the flatware and the ultimate. But for someone that is buying the cookware, it actually makes it easier to upserve to the kitchen. The last focus is going to be like the main part of this talk that I really wanted to give you guys, and it's my closing questions that I use um, to close more package deals, but also upserve to package deals. Okay, so kind of go over the first few questions. Let's say we're looking at knives and flatware right now. Okay. One of the questions I'll say is, hey, Mrs. Jones, besides the flatware and the ultimate set or the complete set, is there anything else you see here that you would like to bundle with this package? Or do you want to go ahead and just get started with this today? So that's like my closing question is after I've showed them the knives, showed them the flatware, showed them the package deal using my Vast Action specials, that's kind of how I phrase my close. Is, hey guys, besides the flatware and the ultimate set today, is there anything else you guys see here that you would be willing to bundle with this package? Or do you want to go ahead and just get started with this today? And the reason why I love that closing question is it opens the door to add more to the order, right? Because sometimes people say, oh, tell me about the ice cream scoop. Tell me about the kitchen tools. Tell me about these hunting knives, right? It kind of opens the door to add more things or talk about more things. Or if they're ready, like, no, this is all for today. Like, let's just get started with this. And it kind of makes it like an assumptive close. And then after you get the credit card, right, now you start painting the picture of what's next for them. So what would be the next thing I would say is, hey, now that you guys are getting the knives and the flatware today, you're that much closer to having what we call the Cutco kitchen. I always like to keep track of my client's future wish list. What would you say would be next on the priority list? Would it be the cookware? Would it be the accessories? Would it be some outdoor knives? Or would you be open to doing gifts for family and friends? So that would be like the next way I would kind of build a wish list opportunity with someone that's buying the knives and the flatware. Okay. And then what's great is, now you're just kind of getting an idea like what would be next for these people. And then also you want to keep track of that so that next time you see them at a service event, next time they come to the fair, you can keep those notes as a reminder of like what would be the next program to show them. Now, the trick is, since you're already there working with them, you say, hey guys, since we're both here now, do you mind if I spend a couple minutes telling you why the cookware would be worth the investment next time? All right, so let's say hypothetically the cookware was the next thing. I always like to get an opportunity to do a pitch about the next program they want while I'm there with them. And the key here is you want to be emotionally detached from their excitement or whether or not they say yes or no. It's really more just creating an opportunity using a permission question. Okay. And so let's say they are open to it and they do want to hear about the cookware. You need to make sure you do a full pitch, 110%. Don't cut any corners. Okay. And I think I shared this with Matt when he was field training, but like my key to selling a lot of flatware and cookware to past customers is that I ask these permission questions just to get an opportunity to pitch the program, but I have this emotional detachment, whether or not they say yes or no to it. I just want an opportunity to give my best effort and then see if there's a chance for me to show a deal. That's really what I want because I know it's a numbers game at this point. If I talk to 10 past customers a day at my fair and I'm able to pitch flatware, cookware, upgrades to all 10 of them, there's gonna be a point where, two out of the 10 or three out of the 10 are buying something. And so the more pitches I do, right, the more often I'll get successful orders. But, if you're talking to 100 customers and you're only pitching three of them about cookware, obviously your ratio goes down big time. So for me, it's always an opportunity like, hey, what program can I pitch at the highest level to see if I'm going to get a chance to close it? And then after I do the pitch, right, obviously I say, hey, just for fun, do you want to see the show specials on the cookware? And then after you show the specials, you kind of just gauge their level of interest, right? They're already buying the knives, they're already buying the flatware, um, but they seem like the cookware is like down the future, right? Oh yeah, that sounds great. Like we for sure need pans, but we'll probably get that next time. Um, Again, the key here is like, how can you pique interest in showing a deal today, right? So what I ask is to say, hey, I know you're already getting the flatware and the knives today, but out of curiosity, Mrs. Jones, if the deal was good enough, would you be open to adding the cookware to your package deal today? And if no, right, ask the question, when would be an ideal time for you to revisit the cookware? Great. I'll make a note and save it on your wish list. So two things happen here is one, now you're getting an opportunity to close the cookware and sell a Cutco kitchen. Um, Two, if they aren't open to it, the work you just did in that interaction will make selling cookware to that customer 10 times easier next time. Matter of fact, I get pretty easy cookware and flatware orders at my service events because of the effort I give in my first interactions with people about getting flatware and cookware with their knives. But sometimes people don't go for the package deal, right? They're just not in a position to do it. But the next time I see them, guess what? Selling those programs is that much easier. So for me, it's never a wasted energy or effort to give it my all and try to close the package deals on an upserve. Um, the next thing I want to talk about is like dropping down with a purpose. And I have a couple drop downs that are very effective. So my first drop down is if I'm pitching a Cutco kitchen to start, but someone's just not in the position to do a Cutco kitchen. The second drop down is when someone is looking at a package deal to begin with, and they're not ready to do the package deal. And then that's kind of why I sell so many like ultimate sets and family sets now, is I would say 60% of the time I'm actually pitching a Cutco package deal first, which is knives and flatware or knives and cookware, but I'm settling for just the knives as a drop down now. So it's making it seem like the drop down versus like the initial sale, which is huge, right? But let's first talk about dropping down from Cutco Kitchen. So you show the Cutco Kitchen, build the value in it, show the special, show the 5 pay, and they're just like, hey, we can't swing it. It's just too much. We didn't expect this today. And they're just not feeling it. For me, I say, hey, Mrs. Jones, between the cookware and the flatware, what would you say is the top priority right now? Once they tell me, hey, honestly, like we would use the flatware way more, like the cookware can hold off. I say, hey, can I make a suggestion for you guys then? Why don't we just start with the knife set and the flatware? I'll come with your purchase as your official knife concierge. So I'll be in touch with you. And when you're ready to revisit the cookware, I'll make sure to cut you the best deal. Do you want to see what the package deal would look like just to do the knives and the flatware today? So again, ask the permission question so you can show the smaller package. And then I use the Vast Action specials that have the package deals shown with the knife sets. And for me, I find this to be very effective because if I'm the one that's making it the suggestion, it shows the customer that I'm like looking out for them and I have their best interest in mind, right? Versus them trying to tell you what they want and trying to find their own solution. You're almost doing it for them by asking these powerful questions. And then people really appreciate that when like you're suggesting to buy the smaller package of things they really want. And also it saves them a ton of money, right? So I think the reason why I sell knife sets with flatware most consistently is because cookware takes up such a large amount of the price off the deal that it just visually feels so much better to buy knives with flatware. So anytime you're pitching a Cutco kitchen to begin with, just know that like if you can push someone to start with knives and flatware, it's a pretty easy drop down to get a package deal order. All right, let's say someone's looking at a package deal, not a kitchen, but they just can't swing the package deal, right? So, hey, Mrs. Jones, between the knives and the cookware, what would you say is the top priority right now? Most people, it's the knives, but every once in a while, I get people that say, actually, we need the cookware more, or we need the flatware more, right? Like knives are great, but we actually need this right now. So, if that's the case, then go with that. But in most cases, it's the knives. Same thing. Hey, can I make a suggestion for you guys? Why don't we just get started with the knife set today and hold off on the cookware? The good news is I come with your purchase as your official knife concierge. I'll keep in touch, and when you're ready to revisit the cookware, I'll make sure to cut you the best deal. Do you want to see what it would look like just to start with the knives today? So same thing, same questions, same approach. You're just dropping down from the package deal to the knife set on its own. Okay. And then a couple things I want to share with you is like how to use turbo incentives in the closing process. Because at this point, you're just handling objections and you're finding solutions with different bundles and packages to get the customer comfortable. But obviously, most of these deals come down to like having to do some type of incentive to close people. Um, so let's say you're selling an ultimate set. And as part of like an upserve, you're trying to get someone to do like the flatware, the cookware. Okay. One of the things I would say is, hey, Mrs. Jones, is the flatware or cookware, right? Something that you can see yourself getting in the near future. And most people, if I pitch the flatware, the cookware, and they liked it, it's like a for sure thing, right? Like, yeah, like next time, this is for sure what we want. The one thing I'll mention is, hey, there's one guarantee with Cutco. We just keep going up in price. So procrastination becomes very expensive with us. Since we have the best deals at this show, I'd love to see if we can find a way to help you get the flatware or cookware with your knives today. Out of curiosity, if I were to go out of my way and do a crazy turbo incentive and you felt really good about getting the flatware or the cookware today, is it something that you'd be open to considering? And then after this, I do my goal sharing script, which is something I think I told Matt about at the fair that was like a huge game changer for me and my customers is a goal sharing script before you do the incentive to really get customers bought into like your mission and buying more Cutco from you. So I'll share what I say. Hey, do you guys mind if I share something with you guys real quick? I've been selling Cutco for about 17 years now, and every year I have some pretty big and ambitious goals. This year specifically, I'm on a mission to do something I've never done before and sell over $1 million for the year. I'm on track, but every order counts. And so you're already helping me a ton by getting the knife set today, but it would help out that much more if you were able to add the flatware, the cookware with it as well. So here's my question. If I were to go out of my way, do an absolute crazy, ridiculous deal where you did feel really good about getting the package deal, is that something that you'd be open to considering? If you can make it work, great. If not, no worries. We can always just start with the knives, and I'll help you out with the cookware, the flatware when you're ready. How's that sound? And then a lot of people at this point, because it's kind of like a push and a pull feel, they're open to hearing what I can do at least. And then obviously if the deal's good enough, people go for it. Sometimes it doesn't work out though, and that's okay. The biggest lesson here is how often are you giving the effort to try, right? How many interactions are you letting go by without the effort? Imagine what it would do to your business if every interaction you had this level of intention and focus about upserving and you were willing to share your goals and do an incentive to get people to buy more, right? So again, I think the key here is you got to be emotionally detached from people saying yes or no in these moments, and you got to be more committed to the effort instead. Okay. So last thing is just some action steps and then a couple minutes for questions if you guys want. But number one action step is just work on mastering your skill set with the different programs that we sell. Second one is just train your mindset to think bigger, right? If you're like, if you feel like thinking big is on ultimate sets, like I challenge you to think bigger, right? Like ultimate sets are, I would consider 1/4 of your opportunity of what you can sell to customers. And that's not even getting into like the business gift opportunity right now, right? But like if you think selling ultimate's a big order, you need to really change your perspective. Like you need to start pitching and presenting 10K plus options for people. The next one is make a commitment to pitch package deals in every interaction that you have. So imagine if you get 10 interactions a day at your fair, and all 10 of those interactions were a package deal opportunity. And so again, the more you can actually have package deal opportunities, it just becomes a numbers game at that moment. Next action step is just practice using the closing questions so you can get comfortable with it. Um, for me, I always remind people that the objection cycle and your ability to come up with like solutions for customers doesn't happen overnight. It's really an intentional skill set that needs to happen. And the more you do it and the more comfortable you become with it, the better results you're going to get. Last thing is just always have fun in the closing process when you're doing like turbo incentives and goal sharing. Um, that's a really tense moment with customers. So the more like lighthearted and fun that you can, make it for customers, I think the more receptive they'll be to like, hearing you out and seeing the deals. You don't want to be like super straight face serious in those moments. Um, and just remember, not everyone's gonna bite. But if you discipline yourself to try it every single time, you're gonna convert your sales into package deals way more consistently, I promise you. All it takes is a few good customers, right? That'll change your entire day and your entire week. So that's what I have for you guys. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if there's any questions though. Um, that's what I got.
Awesome. That was absolute fire. Let's give him some more round of applause. Matt, that was such unbelievable quality content. Thank you so much for your time on that, dude. That was
You're
incredible.
welcome.
We'll open it up some Q&A here. Adam,
So my question is, when you're working at like a really busy show, are you gonna still go back in and double down on that cookware pitch again every time?
Every single time. So I actually just shared this with my mentee the other day. And for me, a few years ago, I understood the power of like being present with the customer in front of you and like mentally trying to block out what's happening around you. And at a fair or an event, this is probably one of the best skill sets that the top reps have is they don't care about what's happening around them and what people are selling. They're just locked in and they're in flow with who's in front of them. And again, I'll say it again, but like you can sell way more CPO to the person in front of you that you already have their credit card for than trying to find a new customer to pitch an ultimate set, flatware, or cookware to. And so if you have this mindset of like scarcity and like, oh my God, I'm missing out on CPO, like everyone's selling like this around me, when you're not really focused on who's in front of you, you're just going to keep missing that opportunity by selling more, right? And so don't chase interactions around you, focus on who's in front of you, and it'll serve you way more. And so I always tell myself that I would rather pitch cookware or flatware to who's in front of me versus trying to find the next like new customer interactions. And I mean, I've just had so many scenarios at my events, even my fair this year, where, I had customers that were buying a few items and just with the discipline of working with them longer, I upserved them the full cookware sets, Cutco kitchen completion packages, and some of those took 30 to 45 minutes, right? And I was listening to other people sell knife sets and other orders, the people that, were walking around. So yeah, always focus on the person in front of you.
that's clutch. I think that's one of the biggest mindset shifts reps can implement at the show. So thanks for sharing that, Matt.
Hmm.
Um, Anybody else got any questions? Charity?
I have a question. What's up,
I do.
everybody? I am curious, people that do get like the few pieces, how do you work them back up to like an ultimate or their cookware? Like what is that process? That are like, okay, we're just gonna go with like two knives. How about two knives? And you're like, all right. Like how would you kind of, if they're super focused on that, like kind of gently work them back up, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, every scenario is different, right? If someone's walking up to me though, and they're like, "Hey, how much do the shears cost? How much do the cheese knives cost? How much does it cost to replace my table knife?" Right? I mean, that's probably 75% of your interactions is it's Cutco owners coming up to buy a piece or two or replace a knife or two. And so my method is always the same. I say, "Oh, by itself, it costs this. By the way, you're more than welcome to buy a la carte. Just so you know, most people avoid that at a fair because we have the largest discounts and deals that we offer. And so a lot of people take advantage of our bundles, sets, and packages here. Just for fun, do you want to see one of our smaller bundles that includes those items? If you like it, great. If not, we can always just do the replacement table knife. So what that does is it dangles this carrot, right? So that they can see an opportunity for a better deal, but they also know that there's no like commitment yet. They don't have to do it. They can still do the piece or two that they were looking for. And so the worst thing you guys can do is avoid telling them the price of the items that they want and avoid trying to sell them the items they need. So for me, I always try to have this service first mentality, right? Always take care of the customer's initial needs, but open the door of opportunity to show them better deals and bigger packages if they're open to it, right? And then obviously, if there's no interest right away, get the credit card, write up those one or two pieces. Like, don't be afraid to write those up really fast. But once you get the credit card, it's game on, right? Hey, by the way, can I remind you guys about our Cutco kitchen concept? It's something that all of our customers work towards one day. Most people, knives are the priority. So it sounds like you're pretty good on knives, right? There's nothing else you want to check out or add to. Okay, great. Has anyone ever told you about our flatware or our cookware? No. Oh my God. By the way, the flatwares are number one corporate discount. It's by far the number one deal at the fair right now, too. The cookware is actually the most important thing that you can invest in now. And here's why, right? So you do a quick power intro on the flatware and the cookware, and then you hit them with that question. Hey, out of curiosity, if you had to get something next from us, what do you feel like would be the top priority, the flatware or the cookware? Oh, if I had to get something, I guess the cookware would be next because we have Teflon. Oh, okay, great. Well, hey, since we're already at the fair, do you mind if I spend a couple minutes telling you why it would be worth investing in the cookware next? Sure, yeah. Go ahead, spend a couple minutes. Boom. Now you just got an opportunity to do a full pitch, 100% effort. And then again, once people hear the pitch, they're gonna get excited, right? They're gonna go from 0 to 100 real quick about the level of excitement to buy new cookware. That's where you capitalize. That's where you say, hey, you're already at the fair. I know you're getting these, the scissors and your replacement table knife, but I would love to show you our deals that we have on the cookware just in case. Like, do you mind if I show you what the deals are? Boom, show them the deals, right? Gauge their level of interest. For me, if I see a little bit of hope, I'm going for it, right? So one of the things I would say is, hey, just because you're already here, guys, there's one guarantee with Cutco. We just keep going up in price. And cookware is one of the things that goes up the most every year. So if it seems like something you might consider down the road, do you mind if I just like share something with you real fast? Goal sharing script insert, right? Then you say, hey, just for fun, if I went out of my way to do like a crazy turbo ridiculous deal where you felt really good about getting the cookware today, is it something that you'd be open to considering at all? Right. And then you just find a really good way to do a deal. So that's my flow with every single one of my orders. It doesn't matter if it's a two-piece order or if they're buying an ultimate set. I'm using the same tactics with questions to get people bought into buying more. And I think again, in that moment, it's like whether someone's buying one piece or two pieces or a set, what's your level of commitment to showing more programs and doing full pitches at 100%, knowing they're probably going to say no. So what I wish Matt saw when I was field training is all the days that I pitched flatware and cookware and they didn't buy. Most people only hear about what I closed on the group chat. What they don't realize is almost every interaction, I'm pitching programs, but they're not buying. But it's my level of commitment to the effort in every single interaction that is paying off, right? So for every 10 cookware sets I'm pitching per day, I may be getting one person to say yes. But guess what? There's days where 6 out of 10 say yes. And that's where those big days blow up. So
Yeah, thank you.
Unbelievable stuff, dude. Love the mindset, love the attitude, the energy. It's just, yeah, dude, contagious. Awesome.
I got
Do you
a
have
question.
what? Okay, real quick, Rob. We know we got a hard out in like a minute or here too, Matt. But go ahead, Rob.
Well, is there a video somewhere? Or did we record this? Is there a video, Matt, that you could share
Yeah.
that has these
Yep,
bullet
got
points
everything
and stuff?
recorded for you, Rob. Yes,
Okay,
you got.
thanks.
Awesome, sweet, awesome, Matt. We'll let you get to your next appointment, man. But thank you so much for your time. You're a badass. Let's give him another round of applause.
happy to contribute.
All right. Cool, guys.
Awesome, guys. What do we think of that?
Hang it up.
Fire, right?
Let's get some takeaways. We'd love to hear some takeaways from you guys. What you guys got? No takeaways? No?
Oh,
Just
absolutely
shooting?
Just finding a way to actually like get the pitch to get a full pitch 100% of the time and just finding ways to pitch it more often.
Mhm.
Like a big game changer,
Love it, Cam.
right? Because you're not
I think
Right.
for him, it's like the biggest thing that you can, I think the main theme is just truly the commitment and the numbers game with anything in life as well, is like the more that you do it and having that vision and being able to show up and knowing your shit, like you can create like a lot of magic with that.
Adam, stop.
Good
What
job.
else?
Any other takeaways?
I just love his discipline to going up the kitchen every time, whether it's one night, a package. You know, I think I have that level of commitment with gifting. And then just incorporating that same, you know, uh, focus every time, no matter what, no matter what's going around you, know how slow or big the show is, how you like the customers, just every time, you never know. And I love that he has the confidence knowing that he's not selling it most of the time, but he's just planting that for the next time and knowing that it will come, you know, and not trying to get rid of that customer. He still go 5 more minutes with each client. I know I'm guilty of like looking for the next person, you know.
Love it. All right.
What I wrote down about that mindset, by the way, which I'm just gonna never like keep as a core mantra, is don't chase interaction around you. Be present with who's in front of you. Don't chase interactions around you. Be present with who's in front of you. Anybody else got any takeaways?
Said something about selling knives.